Hey everybody, welcome to Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. We're the show where we hear from our local real estate experts on the topics that you want to know about. Listen in and stay tuned while we bring you the best of San Diego real estate. Welcome back to San Diego Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Randy Castle. Randy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking. Today, our topic is really a basic one, but I hear it a lot. It's what do realtors do? What does a real estate agent do for their client? Randy, I want your opinion on this. What do they do?
You know, and I've had, there's a lot of deboggle about this, and people go, oh, I've heard it say, oh, they're professional door openers, right?
Fair
or
enough,
or
fair
this
enough,
or that,
right.
and it's kind of
Okay.
like, they do a little bit more than that,
I
and
hope
it,
so,
it
yeah,
really
right.
depends on what kind of agent that you're actually getting.
Right.
Which is why I tell my clients, like, and anybody at all, like, you should really interview three agents at least.
Right.
Right? So you got to see which one you partner with, which one your personality matches with.
Right.
And then I would say there's three key things that a realtor will do for you. The first one is protection.
Okay.
So they're going to protect your assets, protect your assets.
It's a good one. Everybody needs protection, especially on their assets.
Especially on their assets.
Right.
So protect your assets. Make sure that your financials are in order. Make sure that you're being kept protected from your contingencies, protected from just anything that's going to come at you, any defaults in the property, any liabilities if you're a seller that can be put off onto the buyer, that you want to disclose. So having somebody who
Disclose. That's a good one. I definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So having an agent that will actually help protect you. And agents carry something as well called errors and omissions insurance.
Okay.
So that's an additional protection against anything that might slip through, that a T that doesn't get crossed or an I that doesn't get dotted.
Got it.
In the contracts might slip through.
So if it does get legal, you have an extra layer of protection that you carry already for the transaction.
For the agent. And then on top of that, you have the brokerage as well. So that really comes down to really protecting your assets, right?
Got it.
And then another thing would be knowledge. So you have to have somebody who knows the contracts inside and out,
Knows what they're
who
doing.
can protect you, because if they don't know what they're doing, or sometimes even with newer agents, and I've been a newer agent before, you learn the hard way.
How long have you been in the real estate industry being a realtor?
10 years. I started
It's not your
in
first rodeo.
2013.
There we go.
2013. So
Absolutely.
this year I'm very, very excited to hit my 10-year mark.
Love it. Love it.
Still doing it full time. And actually, I just picked up my license in Arizona as well, and I took my first
Nice.
listing in Arizona.
Nice.
So let's go.
Now, whereabouts in Arizona? Is it Phoenix? Is it Tucson? Is it Prescott? Is it?
Actually, in the mountains, the White Mountains.
Okay.
So I have my family's from there. They've
it.
lived up there for a long time, so
I love it.
you know the area well.
I
and
love it. I
just-
love Arizona, California.
Yeah.
It's California's cousin. So, anyway, wonderful to get your opinion. Wonderful to get your feedback on this, Randy. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Hey, everybody, stay tuned. We'll see you next time on San Diego Market Movers. Hey, everybody, welcome back to San Diego Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Frank. Frank, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
My
for
gosh.
being on. Listen, we're talking about all things real estate, and today, the topic that we want to discuss is with the record low inventory on the market here in San Diego, what about off-market properties? What are we doing as real estate experts, Frank? What are we doing to help our clients with off-market?
It's a great question, and you're right. Inventories are very low.
Right.
Well, you can help your clients. I work with both sellers and buyers.
Okay.
And so it gives me good perspective on both sides. But you can help both. And most importantly, if you're working with, let me back up. Actually, just recently, I've closed a couple of deals because it kind of goes in spurts, a little bit, but because not everyone wants to deal with an off market. But for whatever reason, it's been happening a lot lately.
And when you say off market, are we talking about you've helped a seller sell a property that was off market?
Both, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So in the seller situation, they raised I had a relationship with them, or I created a relationship. And over time they had reached out to me, and we established and talked, and eventually they raised their hand. Hey, we want to sell our house with you.
Nice.
And then we had the conversation of off market, because they just simply didn't want to go through the hassle of having to have someone come through their house all the time. It's a higher level, priced home, and they just didn't want that kind of traffic.
Right.
It's part of the, and so we wanted to see if we could put out quote unquote feelers.
Got it. Generate interest about a property that isn't
Without,
on the MLS.
without being on the MLS.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so that's where the agent really does matter.
Right.
And I have very strong relationships within the community, not just with people who have raised their hand, hey, if you have a house like this,
Yeah.
please let us know. But I also don't know every single house that's available or every buyer that might be looking. So in that case, I also have really great relationships with other agents or other people in the industry,
Right.
where I can make phone calls. Imagine that, real old school hard work.
Yeah, due
Yeah,
diligence.
yeah. And
Not
so,
just dancing on TikTok.
yeah, exactly.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and so literally reaching out to people and saying, hey, I've got this amazing property, and getting people to take a look, and it didn't take long, and we sold their house, and they got the price they wanted, because people, the advantage of being doing an off market is you can kind of control the price a little bit, because you're giving someone an opportunity to see it that no one else saw.
Right,
So
right.
you can maybe ask a premium.
Right.
But everyone wins. So anyway, going back to that, it's off market is very important that you pick the right agent
Right.
who's done it, knows how to do it, and knows how to reach out to people and kind of make it happen. It's like making it rain.
One
in the right kind of
takeaway.
way.
If I had one takeaway, what is the number one piece of advice you would put out there for off market?
Well, we're kind of just still talking about selling it off market. The most important thing is to have a great agent.
Okay.
I mean, that may be a shameless plug, and I'm not saying I'm the only one,
Nothing wrong with that, Frank.
but it's important. You can't just go on a vending machine or pick someone's ad and just assume they know everything that I know,
Got it.
or have the relationships I do, because it doesn't work that way.
Is this the same for a buyer? Like if you have a buyer who says, Frank, help me find this property, like real quick before
Yeah.
we only have a little bit of
Yeah.
time, what would be one thing you would recommend to
It'd
them?
be the same thing. It would be to contact me
Got it.
and tell me very specifically what you're looking for, and it's like a matchmaking process.
love
Is really what it is.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Frank, thanks so much for your
You're welcome.
feedback, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to San Diego Market Movers. We'll see you next time. Welcome back, everybody, to San Diego Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with David Jefferson of Coldwell Baker. David.
How's it going, Jason?
Good, brother. Good to see you again.
Good to be
Hey,
seen.
so our topic today on this week's show is really about buyers. So I hear all the time about first-time buyers. What are us realtors doing with first-time home buyers? But I want to talk about the up-leg buyer, the move-up buyer today, that buyer looking for their dream home. David, what are you telling your clients like that? How is the market affecting them? What are you telling them to do?
Well, that's actually a great question, Jason, because that's actually what I specialize in. I specialize in helping the move-up buyer.
Nice.
And, with today's market, today's day and age, I'm telling all my clients that currently already own homes, or that I've already helped get into a home or purchase that first investment. Right now is the perfect time. Right now, I feel we're at a sweet spot.
Right.
If you already own a home and you're looking to move up, or you're looking to go from one investment to another investment.
Perfect.
A lot of times we get caught up in what we see on the national news, right?
Right.
We hear the national news talking about home prices dropping, home prices are going down.
Doom and gloom. Yep.
Exactly, right? And contrary to that, what we're actually seeing is we're just seeing home prices not appreciate as fast as they did during COVID. So that's the first piece of advice I'm giving my clients is, first off, we got to remember that national news versus our market versus our area, right?
Okay, San Diego news. Okay,
Our San Diego news, right? Here in San Diego, here in California, on average, right, a healthy home price appreciation rate is anywhere from about 2 to 4%.
Got it. Okay.
During COVID, we saw them way higher than that, but that was
Right.
an anomaly, right?
Right.
But a 2 to 4% appreciation year over year is a healthy rate of return, right? When you take that into account, right, that even though, okay, home prices might not be appreciating this year that 8 to 10% like we saw them 2 years ago, we're still at that 2 to 4% price appreciation.
Got it.
So our home values are still growing.
Right.
But then the second piece of advice I'm giving my clients is we have to remember, we have a little friend called amortization.
Right.
A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, every time, whenever we've purchased something, whenever we finance something,
Right.
the average consumer doesn't realize the majority of the payment is going towards the interest.
Right, not
it's
going
not
to the
going
principal.
towards the principal,
Right.
right? But what our friend amortization does for us is our friend amortization says, hey, the longer you're in this loan, the longer you make this payment, the more you're in this home, the more now that your money is going to go towards your principal.
Got it.
So less and less of your money is going to go towards the go towards the interest,
Right.
going to go towards the principal, therefore paying down what you owe at a faster rate as well.
Absolutely.
Then you add that on top of our 2 to 4% price appreciation year
a
over
little money.
year. As you can see, it does not matter what the news, what the headlines are saying.
Right.
Home values are going down, right? We all know Warren Buffett. You don't wait to buy real estate, you buy real estate and wait,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
When you add that 2 to 4% home price appreciation on top of our amortization, that, as you can see, Jason, is the reason why I'm giving my clients advice that already own a home or that already have that investment and are looking to move up, that now is the time we need to do that.
Okay, so one question on this. When it comes to those clients that are doing that upleg, what are you telling them to do first? Are you telling them to start looking at new homes, finding that dream home, or are you telling them like, hey, let's list your home first? How are you going about it? What are you telling them?
That's a great question. I'm actually having them do both.
Ah, nice.
Yes, sir. In this market, it's very normal for us to see contingent sales, right? That's kind of, we're seeing those more and more nowadays, right? We're seeing those owners that, hey, I want to sell my home, right? But I don't want to sell it unless I can find another home.
Got it.
So I
Not gonna
don't want to
close
be
escrow.
homeless.
Got it.
Exactly.
All right,
But then at
perfect.
the same time, I don't want to have 2 mortgages.
Right.
It's a slippery slope to navigate through. That's why I think it's even that much more important that you partner with a realtor like myself and my team, the Jefferson Group, because we know how to navigate through that slippery slope. We know how to position you as a homeowner to make sure you can put your home up for sale, but at the same time, go out and look for homes to purchase. If we find a buyer for you before we find that home for you, no worries.
Right.
You know, it's an easy process. Me and my team, we know how to navigate to get that buyer under contract, but still give you time and go find that follow-on purchase.
I love it.
Or
I
vice
love it.
versa.
I love it. So, and that's everybody. That's why you have to work with an agent that knows what they're talking about. David, thanks so much for being on here today with me. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to San Diego Market Movers. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Michelle Coker of Team Coker with Compass. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for being on with me. So one of the main questions we're getting right now is from our audience is prospecting. What are you doing that works and what are you not doing because it's not working or are you just not comfortable with it? Michelle, talk to me a little bit about your prospecting strategy. What's working for you guys?
I'm a firm believer that what you're passionate about is going to be what you're going to talk about best. I'm not a cold caller. I'm not a door knocker.
Got it.
Someone on our team, Heather on our team, is a great door knocker.
Great.
But I'm passionate about my community. I'm going to naturally talk about it and be around it. A lot of our business is sphere-based.
Got it.
And it's also a sphere of influence-based, people we know.
Right.
And then it's also based on, we have some specialties within our team. We get a lot of information out there via video and blog. So we'll have people reach out to us from that.
Okay, so when
Yeah.
you're putting out a lot of information and are you using social media, are you using email? Like what's the best way you tend to get your information out?
We have an awesome social media coordinator, and we just give her the content, and she gets it out. Instagram and even TikTok and Facebook and email and blog, and different age groups are going to be drawn to different portals or whatever you want to call them.
You are correct.
Yeah.
So when you're meeting with these clients, what kind of information are they really asking? Like what are some key analytic type questions that they're saying, Michelle, I need to know about this?
Yeah. So we're in 92127 in the Poway Unified School District.
Got it.
People come there for schools if
Right,
they're
right.
families with kids. So we have a lot of information about schools. Then we get a lot of 55 plus clients, and so we'll talk to them about the different options in our area and outside. We get a lot of investment clients. Heather is an expert in investing.
Got it.
So kind of depends.
Right.
Yeah.
What they're looking
What
for.
the subject matter
Talk to
is.
me about schools because, this is one of the biggest thing I hear, especially 92127. Like, you're in Poway. What school are you going to? Are you getting into Del Norte? I think there's some new schools that are coming up over there. You got to know a lot more about that. Tell me about that situation.
Yeah, our schools are fantastic. There are a couple of high schools in 92127. The one that I focus on the most is Del Norte High School. It is fantastic. Then there is one elementary school, Oak Valley. I'm sorry, one middle school, Oak Valley. And then there are many elementary schools. So people, and then there's a school of choice called Design 39 Campus.
Design 39
Yes.
Campus. That sounds crazy. Tell me what Design 39, what's that all about?
So it was the 39th school in the Poway and last in the Poway Unified School District.
Got it.
And the superintendent really gave the creator at the time, full authority just to go out of the box. And so they went for 2 years around to different schools all over the country, and they kind of took what they thought would be the best model of the type of learning that you need for the jobs of the future, and we don't even know what those jobs are.
That's very true. That's awesome. So when it comes to schools, when it comes to specifically 92127, you said 55 and older. We talked about schools. What kind of information do you need to know? How did you find that kind of stuff out in order to be able to relay that to your client?
I am an attorney, and so I kind of have that analytical background. And so if someone has a question, I answer it how I would want to receive the answer.
Right.
And a lot of it is curiosity. I think I was meant to be like some type of reporter, because I feel like I'm constantly going out, and I like discovering information that others might not have.
Nice.
A long time ago, when Design 39 Campus first opened, we got a phone call saying, I want to go there, and where do I need to live?
Okay,
And it was
okay.
like, no problem, I'll get that information to you.
Right.
It didn't exist. So we went out and spent a lot of time researching and created some boundary maps. A traditional school just has boundaries.
Right.
This one goes by tax district. So,
Really?
so basically we, there'll be I'm very drawn to new construction, and I've had experience through the years in 92127 doing new construction. And so as these things unfold, we get people information about them.
I love it. Michelle, that is such great information. I know everybody out there really needs to know that kind of stuff, especially in the 92127. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Everybody, thanks so much. Tune in next time to Market Movers. Welcome back to Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Miguel from Keller Williams. Miguel, how you doing?
Very good, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, one of the things we're talking about this week is in today's tough economic market, especially when it comes to real estate, how are we setting ourselves apart for our clients, and where are we finding our business? Miguel, talk to me a little bit about, for you and your team, what are you guys doing to set yourself apart being successful?
Well, we're having a conversation with my manager yesterday how our office and our agents are struggling right now with high interest rates, with low inventory. We all know that, and it's not going to get any better this year. And they were asking me, Miguel, what's going on with your practice?
Right.
And I call it practice because my background is what makes us different.
Really?
I was born in Mexico City, but I'm an engineer / contractor by trade.
Got it.
Then midway through that career, I became a private fiduciary. So I managed trust and estates.
Really?
For about 10 years. And then after doing that, which I did not love, I started, as part of my job with managing trust and estates, I started buying and selling property for my clients. So I got intrigued about the real estate world. So of course I got my license, and then the rest is history. I utilized my experience as a construction manager, private fiduciary, and now a realtor to help my former colleagues to begin with in the legal community, who will I'll get the typical call, Miguel, from an attorney. Miguel, one of my clients just passed away,
Right.
and she had 3 properties. One is in bad shape, one there's the tenant one, and just they give us the address, and then we take it from there.
Right.
We'll go and we'll take charge of the property, and we'll do whatever has to be done to get it to a point where we can sell it.
Got it.
So we solve a lot of problems for the attorneys and the trustees who are handling these cases.
And it takes your background to understand not just, like you said, the contracting side, getting properties ready, but understanding the probate and fiduciary world too. Not everybody has that ability to do that, correct?
Well, no, and the key is, as I tell my team, our number one priority is to protect the estate from any potential lawsuit on what you say, how you present it, disclosures, you name it, whatever it is, even the safety of the property when people go in. So you have to have, I think I'm a frustrated attorney because I'm always thinking from the attorney's perspective, if I were to be in court and if somebody's going to question me about, well, if you saw that there was a hole in the roof or something, why didn't you protect it? Why don't you, all that. So I'm always paranoidally thinking of what ifs. And I guess our clients like that.
I love it. That's really important what you're saying. So a lot of agents don't have that expertise and that background like you do, Miguel, but it sounds like that's what's really fueling the business. It's so great to hear from an expert like yourself on how you're able to set your business apart. Everybody, thanks so much for joining Miguel and I this week on Market Movers. Stay tuned for what we have next. That wraps up this week's edition of San Diego Market Movers. A big shout out to our sponsors, Everything Creative Designs, Valley Home Loans, Golden West Management, Armado Rent Like You Mean It, and 5 Star Escrow. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.